This was someone like would love to just like chat about content and whatnot with you, and if Henry's available as well. And I'm like, nope, I'm not. It's nothing against these people. It's just the only thing I have to do is write our stupid content.
An interesting idea with our hiring. I think we're one of the most inclusive employers because it's all blind. It's all just based on your work. I just thought the same for hiring a spouse.
Oh! Oh no.
Welcome to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about entrepreneurship, self-development, and challenging norms. Back at it again, dude.
Back at it again.
Back
Welcome.
at it again.
Glad to have you.
I
your
just
call
hang,
guy.
dude.
Your hangout call guy.
That's me. I'm gonna be one of those Twitter people that just has Anon accounts. That's like the car dealership guy, but I'm random call guy. That's
getting
me,
all
dude.
your tips and tricks for more productive, effective calls. That's all I got.
All I say every single day is don't do them. Don't do them. No, I didn't have any calls today. I got out of one.
Yes.
Basically, you said this morning, you don't know how I get into all these calls because I'm Mr. No Call guy, but like pretty much anyone that hits me up on Twitter, I'm like, dude, I'll hop on the phone. Why not?
You want
I don't write anything. Shorts, emails? Why write them? No, I got out of one.
Oh yeah. So the one was someone just said somebody who needed video help should talk to us or Clipped or whatever. And dude, thanks. You hopped on it first. And instead of asking like any qualifying questions, you just went straight to call.
I almost begged
Let's
him.
chat. Which is
Dude.
crazy now that I think about it, because it's like, dude, the fact that you would do a sales call for Clipped. So we're at this point where we're like
Not even a sales call.
No, an exploratory call. Exploration.
And I know it's going to be in the direction of not working together because they don't do what we want to do.
Well, right. So you texted me. You were like, do we even do this? And I was like, no. No,
Yeah.
Every time we do that, we get into trouble. We know who our ideal customer is, and we need to be strict about only working with those ideal customers. And
I'm loose,
call
dude.
guy. Loose.
I'm so loose.
Loose on the trigger.
But yeah, I kind of like pulled back on the trigger a little bit, and I was like, hey, dude, you want to just like bullet point something? And then he hit me with a loom, which is actually kind of sick. Like, I really like an async loom. I got his full picture in 9 minutes versus like 30 on a call that got to nowhere. And then I just hit him back with like a couple of sentences of like, here's what I do. So that was sick. Crisis averted. Another call, couldn't avert that one. I almost did. But I was like, hey, can you just send me like a voice note of what you want? He's like, nah, dude, we'll just reschedule for another time. I'm like, that's not what I wanted.
You're getting on the phone.
That's fine though, dude.
Yeah, he was like,
I'm playing long-term games.
This was someone like would love to just like chat about content and whatnot with you, and if Henry's available as well. And I'm like, nope, I'm not. And that's not. It's nothing against these people. It's just the only thing I have to do is write our stupid content. I don't need to talk to anybody else about their agencies or how to run one or how to do content. So that's how I feel about these things.
It's kind of like when we were talking about a Peter Thiel type, where you just you put your message out to the world, and then whoever you want to talk to that filters through, you can do that. But you don't have to do like, okay, so what I did today, let me give some more context here. I went to Soho House because I'm like, I don't even know if that's a brag anymore because it's kind of like not as cool as it used to be. But it's right next to my house. One of my buddies like is a member there. So he invited me. I'm like, all right, I'll just go and like check it out. But like, I don't want to be there, dude. I had to put on like shorts. I wasn't really sure the dress policy, and I had my flip-flops on, and I love my flip-flops now. I like the dogs out.
Thong? Flip-flop?
Thong flip-flops.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wish there was a better way to really connect. I guess I could just use the over the top, but
No, thong's
thonged it
fine.
up.
Thong's fine. I like my Birkenstocks personally, but the thong is fine.
Birkenstocks are kind of just lame looking to me.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
that's fine, dude. We just make content. But basically, I hate these places that are like fake pretentious. It's like, dude, I saw the richest people in the world at a birthday party, and one of them was walking around barefoot the whole time. And it's like, I think I can say, like, Bill Gurley is just like the barefoot guy, and he's like made more money than all of Silicon Valley investing. So it's like, all right, if that guy is doing this, and you gotta like pretend to be cool in your little club that's kind of exclusive but not really exclusive, and I gotta like dress up for like people that think they're cooler than they are, it just really bugged me, because now I'm like turning into a more anti-character than before. Of like, I just want to be the simpleton, dude. I want to be simple man. That's my Twitter person.
Simple
and it's
man.
just like, dude, fuck all. Like Yuri, who's one of the friends, he's like really into luxury stuff, and I'm just so like, I don't know why I'm so anti it, but I'm like, for example, when we went to that party, it was this beautiful 5-star resort, like multiple $1,000s a night for like the cheapest room, and I'm just like, I'd rather be in Narragansett. Like, I'd rather just be on my beach, like, just playing with the boys. Like, that's so much more fun than, like, putting your pinky up sort of shit and drinking tea. Like, that is not awesome. So I just kind of spiraled, dude. And I feel like kind of the douche that's, like, thinks I'm better than people for, like, shitting on them, like, spending money on these expensive things.
Yeah, it's almost like a anti-status.
Yeah.
But that's what, like, I don't know. Like, I think you genuinely, and I do as well, just, like, dislike these luxury things, these status things. But maybe that is maybe that is status signaling in and of itself.
Oh, for sure. It's like, well, I don't have to be as loud as I am about it, maybe.
Yeah.
But, like, I think it's pretty genuine that, like, I don't think that's the most fun thing. I just hate, like, it's like the people that buy an expensive couch, or like my girlfriend. Easy. My girlfriend's family.
They're still together. They are still together.
We're going fucking skydiving in 2 days.
Oh, report back. Report back. Narragansett. There he is.
Oh, dude, I can't. Dude, here's the problem, though, dude. Just today, So the last couple days, I've been, like, kind of fucking around. So I get off early, and, like, everyone, all the, like, richest, hottest people in the city go and, like, exercise on the Hudson River after work. And I just hung out there yesterday because I had some weird, awkward time. And, like, today, I've just seen, like, at least 200 beautiful people. And I'm just fucking spinning, dude, because it's really bothering me. Like, I can't go up to them and say hi. And not because of the girlfriend, but, like, even if I didn't have a girlfriend, I'd just be a fucking chump on the street, and it's like really hard to get in. And so I'm like, I don't like playing this game because I can't win it,
dude. Chump on the street, Gardyloo.
Sorry, dude. I had a point before I just got derailed.
Your girlfriend, girlfriend's mom.
Her family has like really nice, like couches and furniture. But no one can sit on it because it's too nice.
Oh, they wrap them in plastic or something?
I don't know.
So here's the thing. I love really nice things because they work really well, and the companies that sell them are really awesome and like do lifetime guarantees, and like their support's awesome. Right. But that's the point at which you become like a slave to the thing. Like, you get the most awesome couch ever, but you can't sit on it.
Well, I don't know. Like, I want to use my things. Awesome. I think they're largely uncomfy. Versus the couch we had when we went to Maine.
Dude, I thought you were gonna say the couch we had senior year, which was just like coil springs.
No, dude, that was a rocket launcher.
You sit down, you get launched into the ceiling.
But like in between the springs was like the Valley of Death, dude. That was the original gravity black hole.
Yeah, the couch we had at this house in Maine. There's diminishing returns. There are diminishing returns. That's where I'm like, so my new apartment. I'm moving into a new apartment. So we kind of splurged furniture wise and got all West Elm stuff. I told you this on the pod, because like I want the brand. It's no Wayfair bullshit where like you don't know if the thing's gonna be rickety or not when you assemble it. It's like if it's coming from West Elm, it's going to be quality.
Yeah.
But then I think there is a point where there are diminishing returns. It's probably at like restoration hardware level, which is 4 times as expensive.
That's where I just was. Just bouncing around $20,000 couches.
I do love that place.
It's
I
really
like
nice.
walking.
I kind of
It's
just want to
really
tell them
nice.
like, can I just take your set and like put it in a home? But then it's like the people that have a Lamborghini and like put like the bumper protector on the front because they don't want it to get scratched or
exactly.
something. It's like, I don't want to be that. So I don't know. Maybe you just need like crazy oodle monies to like jump on $20,000 couches. But I'd rather just like not have to stress about making that much money and then just jump on like decent couches.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, why are you jumping on couches?
Because dude, it's the cloud. You ever go?
Yeah, yeah. We almost got a cloud, and then we were like, it's so soft that it would
You'll never come out of
probably
it, dude.
actually not be comfy after 2 hours. It's so soft, dude.
Yeah.
It's a cloud. I don't know if
is.
you knew, but it's a cloud couch.
Yeah.
Who?
So I don't know, dude. I'm kind of in this. Last night I spiraled and
Don't spiral.
I really. So here's my current hypothesis, dude. Why are you here for the pod? I don't know. Hang out. I'm okay. I keep bringing up Peter Thiel, and he has this thing where he's like, I think, like, what do people undervalue? What in general, like, there are probably a million things that people undervalue, but like his number one thing or one of his top things is he's like, people undervalue their time. They just like, that's why we're big like anti-call people, because we're like, oh, if I can just hit you with a couple bullets, I don't want to do this to like networking gym jamboree. Like, oh, that was my original point with Soho House. Like, I don't want to fucking network. I just like put out content and attract people. But my version of that is like, people undervalue their time, yes, but also I think people undervalue their partner, their life partner. Like, it is by far the most important thing of all time. And like, it's strangely taboo to talk about how to play that game well or win that game. It's just like, you got to hope that fate is right and like spend a lot of money competing with other people. And it's just like, I'm very close to making it like the only thing I care about. Like, to the point where, okay, say I wanted to win this game. I know we talked about this a lot on the recent pods, but like, it's top of mind. And also like, Yuri worked at the old pickup company with me. And like, clearly I don't give a fuck about like sort of social norms, maybe because of the Asperger's, or maybe like I care enough about this. But like, I worked at a dating company for like 2 years just because I'm like, this seems really important as the key to happiness, but no one's really focusing on it enough. Like, it's weird to me. Okay, so let's say like you think it's maybe not the most important thing, but it's like 50-50, like your job and your spouse are like equally important. But like, the time we spend learning about our job or like business stuff in general is like 98% of what we listen to. And I think that's just because it's really taboo and really awkward to talk about it. And so it's only like 2%. And so I'm like, that whole 48% to get it to be equal, like, we should be focusing on that. So what's my point? Well, my point is like, I want to win this game. Same idea I brought up before is like, if you want to get into an exclusive club, what's your like backdoor method of doing it? Like, if you want to find an awesome wife, what's your backdoor method of doing it? My current hypothesis, and I don't know where this will evolve to,
Whoa.
but I'm
Watch
like,
out for the girlfriend that might listen.
that's why we have a queue of 40 of these podcasts.
The buffer.
Buys me more time. I'm a changed person by the time it comes out. But fuck, dude. Focus. Okay, so one, I'm like kind of clear on what I want in life, and so I'm like, okay, maybe just like DylanJardon.com is just like, hey, this is what I like find attractive in people. Okay, and this is the extreme version. We can dial it back to what's less try hard or less weird.
Gonna see what's currently on DylanJardon.com.
I think it just goes to my YouTube or something.
Oh, so you own it. Good work. It goes to Smart Nonsense.
Oh, I sent you Belcaster.com.
I have my name.
But I mean, like, it could be like a cool family thing.
Yeah.
But it was like $1,500, so I don't know.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
As
Jack's
a
gonna
family.
come.
No chance.
So hold on. Let me.
I gotta update my website, dude. Whoa.
Oh, that's a portfolio, and you're selling portraits on there still?
It's a time capsule. Holy smokes. Contact? No, don't contact me. Sorry, dude.
It's all right, dude.
Continue.
I love when
Continue.
you're not even screen sharing, so that's super fun. Point is, like,
Okay,
dude,
DylanJardon.com.
if I just put like, here's my
The bat
rough filter,
signal.
and like try and keep it simple, but like, you know how we don't take ads on our email? It's like, what if it just had like date Dylan as the ad? And it's like, you kind of like go through the little filter, and it's kind of like our hiring process or something like it. I'm just like, dude, it'd be sick if just like our email was just promoting like our companies, or we promote ourselves, because it's like equally important or more important at this stage. I think it's more important. But
I think that's fun. I don't know what kind of person. It might filter for your kind of person.
I think, well, that's what I don't know. Because, okay, when I see like an athletic, attractive person walking down the street, I'm like, what are the odds that they'd want to start a company together? Or kind of the metric I had yesterday was like, I would want to start a podcast with them. Where it's like, this is cool because we just riff, and I look forward to it every day. It's like, oh, is there like the girl equivalent, or we just want to like riff on this stuff?
What came of the because you have a girlfriend, you sent your girlfriend.
She also knows. She knows a lot of this. I like tell her all about. Yeah. I think.
Well, that's my question. You sent her like a whole bunch of Hormozy material that aligned with your beliefs on relationships. What was her response to all that?
She's like, seems awesome, but it works not because of Alex, but because of Layla. Like Layla is kind of the one that like compromises. Like he's very hard line. This is like who I am and how I want to live my life. It's like you're on the train or you're off. And she's like the one that makes sure the train, like she's the one kind of compromising.
She has to fit that mold. That's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's like the douche, or like it seems better to be the Alex guy in that scenario. But I don't know. It's just, we got a lot of time. Like, you don't have to be desperate. But
that's society would see that as desperate, which is interesting. That's
why I'm like, with enough thought, there's probably a way to spin it. Here's my crazy thought. I'm like, okay, I don't know if I shared this before on the pod, but I'm like, it's so important, and like, it's like, how much would I pay to have you as like a friend or like a co-founder? And it's in like all of my net worth category. So like millions of dollars. I'm like, what if
your net worth? Millions of dollars? Maybe in theory.
That's my bad. I didn't mean to like add those together. Like life net worth, like eventually.
Yeah, okay.
Not right now.
Eventually.
Right? Dude, negative. Fuck, dude. Sorry. Closing the threads. So basically the point is like, if they're like equally important relationships or whatever, I should be willing to spend like millions of dollars to find this person. Assuming I had it. So like, what if the same way? It's like, dude, I'll pay $1 million if I marry your friend.
That reminds me of, we knew this guy, fairly famous founder, and he's much older. He's about double our age, and he's at that point where he would pay millions of dollars to find a wife, and we were going to go on that mission for him, but we can't do that, dude. That's crazy. I get the theory. That guy's got really bad Asperger's, so.
Well, supposedly, because I got more like, because Yuri is the one that's like
off the record, dude. That's got to be off the record.
Well, it's not. They don't know who it is.
That's true.
But like he like crushes because he goes to all these like events and things. I think he's just like really picky and also wants to like just live a fun life. I don't know his priorities, but like I don't know how to like balance the like, this doesn't seem really desperate. Like I think there's an angle like, I guess Harvard doesn't advertise. They're just like known for being dope. Maybe the ad model really fucks up because then you're University of Phoenix. But like, somehow there's like an angle to spin it where you're like filtering a lot of people. I guess you just have, I don't know. I think there's a game here that can be played and can be won to find like the optimal person. Probably going to be one of those Midwit memes where like you just find a cool girl from college.
That's what I was just going to say is I feel like the game gets easier the less hard you try.
Yeah.
But maybe that's a bunch of societal crap. I don't know.
But that's where.
But yeah, this is kind of in that Midwit zone of like, let me get the website and let me make the ad and let me filter for this person and let me change how the game is played and then let me win the game. When the
Yeah.
midwit is like at the beginning, it's like find someone awesome, and then at the end, it's like find someone awesome you like spending time with.
I think it's more like if you had like one page of like, hey, here's what I want in a wife, and then just like everyone happened to pass through that somehow. Like that doesn't seem very try hard or something. I don't know. Yeah, there is like way too try hard.
You know
and that's
what's
unattractive.
hard too is I was thinking about this the other day because we know like some, what are they, like mid-30s, mid-40s-year-old kind of founders that talk about relationships and stuff. And I'm like, it's even too early for them to be talking about relationships. Like they don't have wisdom on the matter. Like I want to hear from like, you got to go to like the 80-year-olds.
Right. Because that's when like usually there's divorce like 20 years into a marriage once the kids move out.
Right. So I get even skeptical of like 40-year-olds touting relationship advice. Unless it's like really general stuff. But I'm like, you still got, I even like with my parents just saw so many different like chapters of their relationship where it's like, actually Alex Hormozy and Layla talked about this, but it's like, there are like maybe even seasons of a relationship where they just know like for the next year, they're like super focused on work and like the relationship is priority number 2. And like, that's okay because they both agree. And then maybe they free up more work time. And then the next year it's like, okay, now the marriage is priority again. So I don't know.
I really like the idea of working on a project together. I think that's really cool because then it's like, I don't know. Maybe it sucks. I think it sucks for everyone because like our like cool vibe of like we just talk all day and like we're a lot closer than like our friend Ais. I think we're all like very similarly close at the end of college, but now we're like on a completely different trajectory than him, all because we started a company together. He didn't. It's like, okay, how do we just like get more of that relationship? I don't know how like. It's interesting that you have no desire to like start something with your girlfriend. We'll keep unnamed.
Easy, girlfriend. That's the term.
I was gonna say wife or something for a second.
Easy.
It sounded really weird.
We have like very different decision making styles, so it would be hard for us to work together. But there are ways in which it works, like when we renovated the van, for instance.
Isn't she a like different decision making? Like she's a perfectionist, like me, or what do you mean? Or
I
maximizer?
guess. Yeah. And I go fast and kind of break things, and then.
Why wouldn't that work?
Well, in that case, maybe you're tolerant of my breaking fast things, and she's maybe less so. We haven't worked a lot together. But I was gonna say, like on the van when we did, we each had our domains. Hers was like design and functionality, and then I was like build, and like that works really well together.
Right.
So I could see us in the future, like, and we talked about this, like, let's say kind of a passion project for us would be owning a like a diner, like a brunch spot.
Right.
I could see her having her domain in that thing, and then me having mine, which is like the build work, the contract work, that kind of stuff.
What is the guac brats?
Guac brats, dude. That's our food truck.
Fuck,
Guacamole
dude.
on a
the
brat.
fight for still zero fight for that. No, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We got plenty of time, but
Dude,
it does make me like, yeah. I don't know, cause these guys I'm talking to that I just got dinner or lunch with, they're like almost 40. And it's just like interesting seeing like they don't really have time.
That's getting up there. I worry too about like so I was talking about the people that tout like relationship advice, i.e. like a Tim Ferriss. I'm like, Tim Ferriss is 45, wants nothing more than to be married and have kids, and like he doesn't.
Well, same with Lex Fridman.
Yeah, Huberman, that's another one. I was listening to him this weekend. He at least on this, actually I think it was on Lex Fridman. he was like, I can only speak to like more successful, like I don't have a successful relationship like this. So he was like able to at least speak to friends and colleagues that did. But I was like, yeah, I'm not going to listen to Andrew Huberman's relationship advice necessarily because he's 45 or some odd and like hasn't figured out how to do it.
And that's where I wonder, like, at least the Huberman and the Tim Ferriss seem very in the midwit of like trying to optimize everything. I'm like, I don't listen to Huberman because I'm like, I don't care about any of this. I'm like, just eat foods that we used to eat 2,000 years ago and like run, like exercise. It's like, that'll be enough. Like get sun. It's like very simple stuff. So I'm like, don't fucking get all midwitty. And so that's why I don't want to get too midwitty with this like marriage thing and like end up trying to optimize something.
Right.
But I think there's some like there's like some simple solution somewhere that people just like aren't thinking about enough because it's too taboo or too weird to talk about it. So it's probably
that's a good
just
point
like,
though. You got to watch out for the Tim Ferriss and the Huberman because that's like the blueprint. They were probably having similar thoughts at our age, and it's kind of like look at them now.
Right.
They were trying to optimize like crazy, and they're both like 45 and not happy with where they are relationship wise.
Well, I wonder why, because my other hypothesis was like just have a podcast where you just talk about relationships with people, or like I'm just natural, like I really like this topic because I think it's so taboo. Like I like talking about stuff people are too afraid to talk about, like money and relationships and list of two. Fuck, my bad, dude.
Dude, you had a lot of momentum. Yeah, there's a lot of momentum.
Dude,
I actually thought you knew the third, and
I
then
did
just
too.
You brick walled it. You just
I was gonna say
slammed-
sex, but is that too? It's kind of like baked into relationships. Maybe like
List of
drugs, but I
two,
don't do
dude.
drugs. That's my bad.
Bummer.
I'm sorry.
Late stage list of two.
Yeah. Well, okay. My idea was have a podcast where we just like talk about relationships or anything kind of taboo, and like maybe have guests on, though we hate guests, but like just like make it something that.
How about you start it with your current girlfriend, and then we can all listen.
Be like, they gotta break up. Yeah, that'd actually be interesting. Yeah,
they don't even have to go
weird?
out.
Yeah,
Because you're not good at putting stuff out anyway.
Oh, they don't have to go out.
They don't have to be published.
Leave the studio. Yeah. Hey, I still want to talk about business stuff. Should we end this and then do a business podcast? Do you have a job? Are you going home? No, you can go home or whatever.
No, what kind of business stuff do you want to talk about? Let's just tack it right on right now.
Tack it on? All right.
Tack the ship. Dude, my dad was on a boat. He was on a sailing trip with friends. He said they actually use Gardyloo.
Oh, really?
Well, he said it more like whatever that word you say. He was like Grady Lou or whatever.
Yeah, I think I changed the actual word. But it's for when you're throwing shit over the side.
Yeah, so I don't know why they would use it in sailing. It's a warning cry given before throwing dirty water from a window. Dude, talk about an inside joke. Jesus. Gardyloo sailing. Hey, dude, I'll let you get your thread in. Yeah, I don't know. I got a couple threads.
I just talked for a while if you want to take them home. Oh, okay.
Well,
hold on. Let me cap this. Let me cap this, dude.
Okay.
Oh, I had a couple in here. Interesting. This is kind of like we talk about it almost every single podcast, but like the idea of you have an audience, you sell them $10 t-shirts or $100 course, or maybe in the future it's like $100 million investment that you sell to one person. Like they give you access to their company and you make a shitload of money. Like your entire audience just comes down to one person. Like what if instead of using that whole audience for that $100 million deal, just that $100 million wife?
Oh, and we're back.
My bad, dude.
He goes to the threads, brings us right back in. Same
also,
idea.
An interesting idea with our hiring. I think we're one of the most inclusive employers, because it's all blind. It's all just based on your work. We only do an interview potentially after we hire you. We might not even do that.
That
I
was
just
the
thought.
thread?
I thought the same for hiring a spouse.
Oh, Oh, and we're back. Wow.
I don't know.
And he says, same
know.
for his spouse.
Well, it's
Top
like,
of mind, Paul Graham. Go read the essay. That's what this guy's got.
I think I'm pretty
Top
open-minded
idea.
in terms of like who's attractive to me. I have like types,
Yeah.
but I don't really care. So,
Well, this is kind of interesting because I think there's this big battle right now going on with like SAT and ACT stuff around meritocracy. Meritocracy and like need-based stuff and like all that. But I think you bring up an interesting point where our hiring, especially for design work, is completely meritocratic. We don't look at what
We don't know
somebody
their
says in the
genders
email. We don't know their name.
from their
We don't know
names.
gender. We don't know anything about them. Like people send when they apply, right? They send like this long cover letter. I don't read a word of it. I just like go straight portfolios, just straight to the design work. So I think it's interesting that, I don't know, being meritocratic in that sense, like our company is really diverse. I don't know. I don't have any takeaways or implications of that, but it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of like where online dating. Bringing it back to dating.
There he is.
It's fucked because a lot of girls will just put on like a 6-foot filter and then just miss 90% of guys because most guys are under 6 foot. And so
You
they're
can
like,
put that as a filter.
yeah,
You can.
for height.
Wow.
That's what fucks most guys because that's why everyone like adds 2 inches to their height on online dating.
You can just filter for things. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What else
And
can you filter for? Obviously, like
I don't really
can you
know.
filter for
Probably
interest?
age, obviously.
age, interests.
I don't do online
Location.
dating. But I know that. But it's basically like now that assumes that height is the most important trait of your relationship.
Right.
If you're willing to just like off the top skim off the majority of the population.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, if looks isn't number one, it's like sports or like whether we'd want to have a podcast or be friends, like then I wouldn't want to filter for looks potentially. Hey, dude, I didn't mean to make this about me or stutter. I did both of those.
Ooh.
Hold on, let me look for non-relationship
Give me another
threads.
thread and then tie it to dating.
Wait, this is supposed to be your thread, but I cut you off.
I have a thread about Slick Rick because we talked about this. We talked about this last podcast, right? I don't go through like depressive episodes, ups and downs like that. I go through Gene like hyper focus episodes where all I want to do is like learn about one specific thing and learn every single thing there is to know about that. In this case, it happens to be starting car engines. I don't know why. But so I took to Google Bard. I was like, what is this behavior I'm experiencing? Because I will just go home tonight and I will watch 6 hours of people starting old cars.
Dude.
And I'll do that for 2 weeks and then I'll never do it again.
Right. Well, that's Slick while he's gardening at 3 a.m.
Right. So I wanted to ask you about that because Dylan's dad, Slick Rick, if he's listening, he's got the same gene. Your mom actually told me that. She'd be like, this clown, I'd come downstairs at 3 a.m. and he's just like asleep in gardening books. He's just like, he's reading everything about gardening. And he knocked out, or usually he would just barrel through the night learning about gardening. So
It's literally Zach's whole mission in life. He just talks
Obsession.
about people that obsess. And it's like,
well, yeah.
I-
Then Google Bard told me it was a product of my anxiety disorder. So I think there are pros and cons.
but do I have that?
This
I
hyper
feel like I
focus thing.
obsess. I'll stay up all through the night.
Yeah.
I think that's just like, okay, dude.
I don't
I'll
think
connect it
most
to a
people
thread I
do.
had. Maybe not. But
Actually, I know for a fact they don't because when I got into wanting to fly airplanes, my brother and my dad also wanted to fly. So I just went hyper focused on figuring out how airplanes work, and I sent them everything. And after I sent like 3 videos out of 3,000, they were like, "Stop fucking sending us videos. We haven't watched even one of them."
You microwaved them too.
I microwaved them, and now they don't want to fly planes probably.
Well,
But I know how airplanes work.
Oh, was that? Was that your dad's idea originally?
I don't
Or was that
remember.
yours? Because
I
it
don't
could be
remember.
like you were the first one interested, and then just like they were just on the fence, and then
No, they weren't on the fence. They just like I don't know if it's they don't have time to do the hyper focus thing or they don't have desire, but like they just like couldn't get around to watching any of the videos. And I watched everything because my anxiety is like I just want to master every airplane situation. I want to know all of the situation.
Right. Yeah, no, I'll do that. I think I don't know. I don't know why that is, cuz it's like if I'm going to do something I want to be the best or just most knowledgeable. Like that's why I get dangerous when I get wrapped up in 1803. Cuz I might I wrote a piece on Singapore and I went through the history of Singapore, but I'm like just talking now, I wouldn't really care about Singapore. But like once I'm in it, I'm going to learn everything there is to know about Singapore. It's going to be my life. And so hi, I'll get it in a sec. Thanks.
Who's that? The mail lady?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, there he is, live on the air. You need a on the air recording sign.
But what was my point? I don't know. I don't remember. But I'll just obsess over things. I think it's pretty common. But what I was going to connect it to, I have no idea. Maybe it's just beating out of people. But it's like Amelia, she's now going to school.
This is my niece.
Right. And it's like, what would you have to pay us to go back to school? I can't imagine a world. I remember like being a kid and like adults were always like, oh, enjoy school. It's like the best time ever. I didn't realize adults were just beat the fuck down. Mm-hmm. Like they just have shitty jobs. Like school isn't awesome. It's just like relatively better than working in your factory office job.
I loved school. I liked doing dumb shit in school, and I liked mobbing with my friends on the weekend. Like I loved school, elementary, middle school, and high school a lot, but I absolutely 100% wouldn't do them again. I couldn't. Right. So yeah, Amelia had her first day of school today. I just like can't even fathom going back to a period in my life where somebody told me I had to like sit and do this thing for 8 hours a day. And it wasn't even like the teaching style wasn't fun. It's like, I can't even, it was like prison.
Oh, dude. Oh,
I was like, dude, like I don't think about like days of the week anymore. It's just like,
no,
I just can't even fathom. Like today was just Wednesday and I got to do whatever I wanted to do. I can't even fathom being in school.
I get depressed right around Sunday, not because I'm worried about Monday, but because I'm worried I have one more day of not being Monday.
Wait, what?
Like Sunday, like Saturday I can survive because there's like a lot of like fun things that have been like pent up that I just haven't gotten to do during the week. So I'm like Saturday I'll like play sports, I'll like do fun things. But then by like Sunday, I'm like all I want to do right now is like be like reading and like writing,
get back into it,
doing something. So Sunday is just like I just don't know what I'm doing with my life on Sunday.
It's in between the Saturday and the Monday. I get it.
Right.
Saturday, yeah, I like the idea of Saturday is like kind of like absolutely no work day. It's like recharge day, like get outside. Sunday is a weird no man's land.
People do like chores and stuff, so they're not really like available for things too. Like
right.
I don't know. I don't like it. But another thread,
thread me.
School. Okay, so two threads actually. One thing Hormozy was talking about, like the reason why he is how he is, like he's an entrepreneur and he's like trying to do all these things. He just hates rules. And school is the epitome of rules. It's like you have to raise your hand to speak, raise your hand to go to the bathroom, get a hall pass, like get a buddy to like make sure you don't fucking skip class and everything. It's like it's just pure prison. It's like now that I have a free life, there's not a chance. Like I would kill myself if I had to go back for the next 18 years to this place, especially when they just teach poorly, and then layer on like, okay. So what I sent you later on, it's not really related, but like what I sent you, because you're like, dude, give me some like OG stick figure finances juice.
That's a threat I had.
So I
Stick
I
figure
went back in
finances.
the-
So
Right,
the context is you tried like, as most entrepreneurs do, tried like so many things before and you disappeared. But before getting to where there he is, before getting to our current state of affairs, this business, this content, one of those things was stick figure finances. So it was like wait but why, but just for finances. Oh, he's gone. He also tried to write a biology textbook in stick figure form. And so, yeah, I asked you for these things yesterday. You sent them over, and it was really interesting.
Well, I forget about a lot of these things, but like basically, I think it was like freshman year of college, Tim Urban came and gave a speech. Like he writes Wait But Why. It's his speech about procrastinating that went viral on TED. So I got obsessed with Tim Urban and Wait But Why. And then I tried to recreate it because I'm like, dude, this could be sick for textbooks. Let me do it, and I'll do like an example for AP biology. And so I like did my own little stick figures, really shitty. But like the writing, it's honestly like 80-20 of what we're doing. It's like
hilarious.
not that bad. And so it was like I was playing with that idea and then like dropped it because for some reason like people didn't like it. And then I came back and I was like, okay, let me do like the financial version. It was just like really cool seeing this stuff, and it's like, dude, the trajectory is so dirty. And then I tried at the start of COVID to like do stick figures again. I just always come back to it.
ShamWow!
ShamWow, dude.
Started an email with ShamWow. Because we're not going to run the B-roll of those, but...
No. But the point is, it was like, I've always just been like, why is school so fucking boring? And like, why is this textbook so big and I don't want to read any of it? It's like, what if it had these stick figures? And like, granted, there's probably not enough money in textbooks, or it'd just be like annoying to negotiate all that stuff. So it's just better to do on your own and like have people pay for it.
That was always my thing with like school and YouTube. To bring it over to the hyper focus, it's like I would much rather just be watching videos about cars, something I was actually curious about, and then like going and tinkering on them. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. School was so boring. And then you come home and you have to do like 2 or 4 hours of homework. I've seen some stuff on Twitter too, which is, I think it's probably like Nick Huber, but it's like, what's like, I don't, what is the deal with homework? Like you couldn't get the right learnings done in the 8 hours you were sitting at school. Like it makes no sense.
I actually, yeah, it's like you read rework and it's like, dude, 40 hours of work, that's enough.
So like, much.
Why does school suddenly, especially in high school, it'd be like 8 hours of school and then sports and then another like 4 hours of homework a night if you're in AP classes. It's like, dude, why? That makes absolutely no sense.
That was actually one of the biggest things then going into like the real world for me. Like I couldn't believe that jobs didn't have homework. I was like, you can just leave it at the door at 5 p.m. It makes no sense.
There was something, I remember I liked Khan Academy because their whole idea, or I don't know if it was their idea, but someone's idea was like, go home and like your homework is just watching these videos. It's like you watch the lessons at home, which is like kind of fun. You're not actually working. And you come to class and you do the problem sets. And then you have the teacher there when you get into trouble. Like, why are you home and alone when you run into trouble? And then you're just going to fall behind. Right. It's like have the teacher there
or
so she can help. Yeah. Like
or just like rote memorization. You're just like doing stuff to do stuff. You don't actually know why. Yeah, that'd be so much. Like if I could, which I do just out of a natural curiosity, if I could spend all evening watching dozens of videos about how cars work, and then I go into class and class is like shop and you've got a car in front of you and you're with the teacher and you're kind of like apprenticing, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Actually learn how to do things in the real world.
But then there's like I forget who says it, but it's like kind of the startup mentality of like it's so much harder to change the world than just create your new world. And then if it's good enough, people will like go over. So that's kind of like why Elon Musk has his own school. And like I actually watched a lesson of him trying to teach. He's a terrible teacher, but like I liked hearing him explain first principles. He's like, everyone's like, you can't do it, but like the physics are there and the economics are there, so I can do it. It's like the kids are just like, what? But it was just like,
but yeah, the incentives are just so layered and deep that you have to start from scratch. Like you're not what we're talking about. You can't really go and fix schools.
Yeah.
You probably need to start them up from the ground up.
I
might
have more
still-
threads, but
no, I was gonna say I might still go to a vocational school. I think that's really cool, learning how to do real things. I'm not, but I would. If I did it again, I would.
You do pottery. That's pretty much vocational
Pottery's
school.
sick. I'd be a plumber. That'd be fun. Electrician. I really like being an electrician.
I didn't mean to take all the tea out of the pod, dude. That's my bad. But it's about time.
It's about time.
Okay.
Gardyloo!
Gardyloo, dude.